Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means I help you feel better and perform better. Today I want to remind you, are you playing the character that you prefer to be? Are you playing the kind of person that you know that you are? A lot of times in our life we feel like we're playing some different character. We're trying to imitate somebody else, or maybe we're just trying to just not be with ourselves, whether that's trying to text as you're driving or just completely try and check your phone every 5 minutes for notifications. Whatever it takes to run away and dissociate and numb ourselves from the present moment. And this is what I've experienced in my own life growing up. I've always wanted to run away from what is happening right now. So I have an attachment style that's fearful avoidance. If you don't know what your attachment style is, I highly recommend you check that out. There are some personality quizzes online. Actually, you know what? I can link it down below so you can find out your attachment style. But really what you want to understand is the more self-awareness that you have, the more tools you have about yourself, the more you can work through your limiting beliefs and really come out of the other side shining, instead of really being on this ongoing process and journey where you keep self-sabotaging. So the thing that I want to remind you of is, in your life, are you privileged? Okay? Are you privileged in your life? Are you entitled in your life? Because if you have insufficient challenge in your life, you're going to find life meaningless. Okay? And this is coming from a very personal take, as well as many people that I've trained over the years, okay? And I just want to say that, consciousness clearly has a creative power. Awareness and observation clearly has a power that is vast, that is quantum, that we don't even know, from vast weird experiments like the double slit experiment, for instance. When you can pull yourself out of yourself, from being with yourself, you're actually getting into the flow state. And oftentimes flow would be also an escape. So we want to ask yourself, okay, you are using the flow state, you are getting in the flow state, but that could just be an escape by itself. But what we really want to do is change the default mode network. Okay, that's kind of your baseline, right, of how you function when you're bored, when you're daydreaming, when you're doing absolutely nothing. How do you feel about yourself? Do you like yourself? Do you actively love yourself and like yourself? Because if you don't like yourself, you'll try to leave your body, you'll try to do some other things, you'll try to be somebody else, and you'll constantly be on this kind of rat race, or this kind of hamster wheel analogy of getting to the next thing, and always not being present and in tune with your body. There have been many times in my life where I've gotten to that moment of what now? I've made it, I've got the girl, I've got the amazing grades, I've got the different things that I've wanted, I've got the social life thriving. Now what? It's almost like that's when the self-sabotage kicks in, right? Because it's oh, I didn't know that I could do this, I did it, and then the success actually goes back to the old belief system of I'm not good enough. Okay, so you can be practicing guitar or photography or getting in the flow, but what happens to you when you're not doing those things? Okay, so it's important to recognize that and really work towards your core self and your core belief systems, because that is what is going to be a foundation for you to actually get into more flow. Because if you don't have that baseline, you're just going to try and escape, and keep coming back to this old baseline that's not really serving you, okay? And I've had to learn this the hard way, but I've been depressed in my life, multiple times, and I've had to realize that, what Jim Carrey said is very true. He said, depressed is deep rest. It's deep rest from the character that you're trying to play. Your body's just saying, no more. I don't want anything to do with this anymore. You're being this kind of person that I think I need a rest from, right? And so I think it's really important when, we sort of step away from these things that we would normally say on our resume, like our gender, our age, our accomplishments. But when you're in the flow state, you're none of those things. You don't need to be attached to your race. You don't need to be attached to your age. It's just you lose all of that. You lose a sense of yourself and who you are and your identity, in a sense. And I think that that is a powerful moment. But then when you come back down and the walls are back again, it's like the walls break down of yourself, and then it's back again when you're not in flow. Then it's like you come back to suffering. And it's important to recognize that your mind was designed to survive. It was not designed to protect you from suffering. In Sanskrit, we have these two concepts, right? Maya, which is illusion, and Lila, which is like play. And so, a lot of times, like, we sort of look at these different theories. I know I do, right? Simulation theory and all these things, a holographic universe theory. At one level, we can say that, yeah, this is all a game. This is all, play. This is all, something that we can make up. It's our own creation. And then there is a dark side to this. And basically, what depression does is it distorts and hijacks your thinking and spins your thoughts and philosophies in a way that makes us suffer. You get what I mean? So it's like it takes this idea of, yeah, we're in this play, we're in the simulation. So what? Like, why does it even matter then, right? We can go into that kind of nihilistic place as well. I really want to preface this kind of in terms of like a book that I'm writing, and I have written, and it's coming out. It's called TPM, or Theatrical Plasticity Method. Now, this book is something that I've been working on for 4 years, okay? I'm sure people from college know I've been writing it. I did a promo video as well in college for my final year as well, for my final video project. And, it's just something that I've put all my energy into, and I've understood how to combine the power of the theater world and acting world and movies with psychology and the idea of like how we can actually combine authenticity with this kind of role play to really work through a kind of mechanism to be our best selves. This is what I've explored in this book. If you are interested in that, click the link, the pre-order book link in my description. Having said that, you really want to understand that we're often scared to fail at doing something very meaningful in life. So it's really important for you to recognize, like, who is the character that I truly prefer to be? What are the character traits of the person that I know I am, but I'm not choosing to be? Maybe I'm a little bit more hesitant, or maybe I'm a little bit more fearful. What will happen if I do that? How will things go horribly wrong, instead of thinking like how it can go amazingly right? So one of the main things is like really looking at this from a very optimistic standpoint, right? Because a lot of times we get really uncomfortable with not knowing. Understand that you are playing in an illusion, and you are angry because you are not realizing that you're actually that amazing character. You are that divine light being. And yes, this is all a game. This is, a serpent eating its own tail. This is, the drama happens when you're not paying attention. What is happening to your life that is drawing all of this drama to your attention? Life is always trying to get you to understand like what is happening to you, and it's trying to protect you, right? Your identity is trying to protect you in any way. It's a preservation mechanism. Breathe into your organs and really find that sense of like getting into alpha state and to override your genetic code and do different things to like access this sovereign flow state, by realizing that that is your natural state of being, and recognize that you are, and that your default mode network might have like kind of got you into this really sorrowful state of not actualizing, not realizing your true potential and fulfilling the needs that you want, but instead it's actually been skewing you in various directions and not truly like getting you to apply yourself in the many places that you can do it. Really, really right now, decide for yourself who's the type of person you deserve to be, that you are, and take one step of action towards it. Because you can think about it, you can fantasize about it, and get into flow state and escape your present moment all you want, but that's just gonna not make the process easy for you. The consciousness needs to get to that level where you recognize it. Like, oh wait, why am I truly being like this? Like, I'm wounded. And I need to heal right now. And that's why I'm reacting so aggressively to this. I'm wounded, and I need to understand that, I'm powerful already. And that wound does not make me less than anybody else. It just makes it one more thing that I have to work on in order to take ownership and responsibility for my own mental well-being. Okay? This is where everything starts to shift. This is where all the energy that you have is being spontaneously used in different various ways instead of being completely, held onto and preserved and like waiting for the right moment. There is no ready for it, right? You're either ready or you're not. It's like you've got to understand that there is this kind of, ball rolling. And if you keep not pushing that ball along the hill, it's not going to roll up by itself. And when you can take those action steps and really ultimately decide, like, this is the type of person I am. I don't know why I'm acting like this other person, but the why of that exploration and the inner work that it takes to really deconstruct and discombobulate that old character and that old version of you so that you can erode the bridges that you've built throughout time and understand there's got to come a time where you just like burn it or like cut it in half and just like move forward with all that force and that leave your tragedy in the past and like get onto this next chapter of your amazing life because you deserve it, because you are worth it, and because you are amazing. Have an amazing day. I hope this resonated with you, this video. It's kind of different, but I hope you hear this message. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary.